Whenever baby Obi laughed, someone would die. Not the next day, not next week, that same night. And the last time Obi laughed, he laughed at his own mother. Obi was born on a stormy night. He didn't cry. He smiled. And then he laughed. It did not sound like a baby's giggle. It was deep and dry. It sounded like an old man whispering from a grave. When he laughed, the birds stopped singing. The wind stopped blowing. And the dogs hid in the bushes. It was a sound that belonged to the dead. The women went silent. An old midwife whispered, "This child did not come alone." Amaka, his young widowed mother, dismissed it. But 2 nights later, the village palm wine tapper died in his sleep. That evening, Obi had laughed at him. It happened again and again. The pregnant woman Obi laughed at lost her baby. The night guard Obi stayed at never returned home. People began to avoid Amaka. Whispers followed her. "Do not let that child look at you." But Amaka still defended her son until one afternoon. Amaka slept in the market. Obi looked at her and laughed. That night, Amaka collapsed and nearly died. Amaka felt a cold hand on her heart. She was sleeping away, but then she felt a warm touch. It was the spirit of her husband, Obinna. He stood between her and death. He whispered, "Not my wife." His love was a shield. The curse was strong, but a father's protection was stronger. She survived, but now she feared her own child. There was a blind old woman from another kingdom called Mama Ebele. She was believed to be gifted with the power of spiritual sight. Though born blind, people often came to her to tell them about their future or past. Amaka ran to Mama Ebele and knelt before her. "Please help me. I don't want to die," she pleaded. The old woman looked at Amaka. Her gaze was focused. One thing she could see Amaka. Then the blind old woman finally spoke. "That child is a death herald." Then she revealed something even darker. Mama Ebele lowered her voice and said, "Before this child was born, his father did not die peacefully. Obi's father, Obinna, was a hunter. One evening, he went deep into the bush and was attacked by wild animals. He was brought back to life, but he never truly recovered. For weeks, he lay on his mat, growing weaker. On the night he felt death approaching, he called for his closest friend, Chukudi. With Amaka's pregnant belly rising beside him, Obinna held Chukwudi's hand tightly and said, "If I die, protect my wife. Protect my unborn son. Promise me," Chukwudi swore. He raised his hand and vowed before Obinna, the ancestors and the earth. "I swear I'll protect them with my life." The moment he finished speaking, Obinna breathed his last breath. Mama Ebele continued, "It was that oath that followed Chukwudi. That oath is what drove him to the shrine. And that shrine is where the spirit entered the child. He begged the spirit to protect the unborn child, but he never completed the ritual. The spirit did not protect Obi. It entered him. Chukwudi disappeared. The curse remained." Mama Ebele looked at Amaka and told her that it was only Chukwudi that could complete the ritual. And as long as the ritual was not completed, her baby, Obi, will keep laughing and people will die. If you love mysterious African village stories like this, tap the like button now, subscribe and turn on notifications because the ending of the story will shock you. When Amaka went back to her village, she was summoned by the chief. He told Amaka that a ritual was to be arranged that would stop her baby from laughing and people dying. The ritual was arranged. Drums echoed. Then, Obi began laughing uncontrollably. Suddenly, the village chief collapsed and died. Panic broke loose. The village demanded Obi be banished. Amaka refused. She ran into the forest with her son. In the forest, Amaka begged, "If you can hear me, please stop this." Obi stared at her and laughed. Thunder cracked. A tree fell and Amaka fainted. When she woke up, Obi was gone. Only tiny footprints into the darkness. Hours after, Obi returned with a wicked smile on his face. Amaka was so scared of her own son. Weeks later, a thin man returned to Umudike. It was Chukwudi. His eyes looked hollow. He confessed, "I caused it. I tried to protect him, but I failed. Now I must finish what I started." He said the only way to free Obi was with blood. His blood. At the sealed forest, the feared herbalist Dibia Okorie stood quietly. Chukwudi knelt beside Amaka. Obi stood between them, staring, silent. The Dibia spoke. "The spirit wants blood." Amaka fell on her knees. Tears streamed down her face. "Please, he has already suffered. He only wanted to protect my child." She turned to the Dibia. "Is there no other way?" The Dibia was silent for a long moment. Then he finally said, "There is, but the price will follow you for the rest of your life." He demanded sacred items: a black rooster, palm oil, white kola, river water, and her late husband's wedding ring. After the items were sacrificed, the Dibia announced the conditions. "You, Amaka, must never remarry, and Chukwudi must leave this village before sunrise and never return. If any of this is broken, the laughter will return." Amaka nodded through tears. She agreed. Before dawn, Chukwudi left Umudike. He did not look back. That morning, Obi cried for the first time, a normal baby's cry. From that day, he laughed like other children, and nobody died again. Amaka kept her promise. She never remarried, but she raised her son with peace, and every night she whispered a prayer, because she knew some cures don't take blood. They take a lifetime of sacrifice so her son could live. A mother's love is the strongest medicine, but remember this: never make a promise you cannot keep. Some debts are not paid with money. They are paid with a lifetime of sacrifice. Watch what you say to the dying. If this story touched you, drop a comment below. What would you do if you were Amaka? Subscribe for more chilling African folktales from me, because the next story is even darker. Click on the story on the screen to enjoy this African folktale from me. See you there.